the big interview that Javed Akhtar gave to NDTV. Let's take a look at that interview, listen to Javed Akhtar again, and then we'll come back to you with what now Samna is saying, what Shiv Sena is saying in its editorial.
You see, look at the right wing objectively, without any passion, with some objectivity. They are the same people. Now their names are different, because their faces are different, but ultimately, if you look at their value system, it is the same. Vis-a-vis gender, vis-a-vis minorities, they have no love lost for minorities like Taliban. They want women to be at home and on the margin like Taliban. So what is the difference between the two? They think no law is superior than their religious faith. That is what Taliban says. So where are you different from them? And how are you so upset? And by being upset, you are making more Taliban. It's interesting.
All right, so that is an excerpt of that entire interview that you can watch on ndtv.com as well. But the reference, and if you watch the whole thing, you actually understand that Javed Akhtar is not really exactly making a like-to-like reference over there. He's comparing some characteristics over there between Taliban and the RSS. What has happened as a fallout of this interview is that BJP is obviously livid. Ram Kadam, like I said, the BJP MLA in Maharashtra has said that they will not allow for any screening of any of the movies that have Javed Akhtar's name attached to it. But Shiv Sena, interestingly, in their editorial, have written a very nuanced piece. While they say that the comparison is not fair, and they say comparing RSS to Taliban is not fair at all, they are also not seen to be very critical of Javed Akhtar per se, and they talk about his personality, talk about how he has, spoken and narrated the Vande Mataram earlier, and he speaks about, he unmasks fanatic views in the country earlier as well, and is a respectable Indian. So all those things, how exactly does it place political equations and positions on this matter? Let's take a look at that with our panel now. Deshratan Nigam, RSS support and lawyer, joins us now. Anand Dubey, spokesperson for the Shiv Sena, is here with us, and Sabah Naqvi as well. Sabah, let me first come to you. What was your view of Javed Akhtar's reference to the Taliban and RSS?
Look, Javed Saab is such a brilliant figure. Nobody can tell him that we are going to boycott. You'll be boycotting Amitabh Bachchan, you'll be boycotting all the Shah Rukh Khan songs. You will be boycotting the cinema if you want to boycott Javed Akhtar. I may not have exactly the phraseology, but he has every right to, at a time of intense attack on minorities, it's just because they are minorities. So Javed Akhtar, I would strongly defend it, and I would attack those. I'm saying they want to boycott Amitabh Bachchan, boycott Diwar, boycott all those films that he has written. Now he writes lyrics. Boycott on the Shah Rukh Khan song. Boycott Kal Ho Na Ho. Boycott everything. You can boycott your way, then just live with a lot of prejudice. But I'll say one thing. The phenomena that he is referring to is that of religious fundamentalism. Taliban is it's a very, very different, it has its specific history.
Sabah, I'm just interrupting for a minute because there seems to be a problem with your audio line. Let me just correct that with our producers, and I'll come back to you. Let me go to Deshratan Nigam in the meanwhile. Deshratan Nigam, how did you see Shiv Sena's response to this? Well, not very long ago, a government under Shiv Sena actually arrested a union minister in the BJP and in the Modi cabinet. And since then, we knew that it is perhaps going to change the relationship between Shiv Sena and BJP perhaps forever. And now suddenly you have on the issue of Hindutva, Shiv Sena saying, well, the comparison is not fair. But they also are not critical, if you see carefully in that editorial, of Javed Akhtar at all.
Sonal, in fact, the issue is not about politics, BJP or anything else. This is about India, and this is about Indian ethos. And Javed Akhtar should know, while making that kind of a comparison, that writing lyrics, songs and dance are prohibited in Islam, and probably if he was in Afghanistan, you know what would have happened to him. So he must be very aware the liberties and the freedom he has in India, and nobody objects to the songs and dances and the dialogues he writes in the films or otherwise, or the shairi he does on on various platforms. So I'm sure he is aware. He's done it for publicity, and at best he should have been ignored. He should be ignored. Such kind of thing should be ignored. And Sena has rightly pointed out certain things. It is for Sena to answer. But this is certainly not about BJP, that BJP is union minister. Those are issues which have to be dealt in the political domain.
Deshathan Nigam, you make a fair point that, he's questioned that he wouldn't have been perhaps be able to say this, he enjoys liberty. But then you had a BJP MLA question the same liberties. You have him on camera say that we will not allow screening of any of the movies of Javed Akhtar because he has been critical of the RSS. Isn't that a bit paradoxical?
No, it is certainly, can he stop it? No. His anguish I can understand. But the fact is, it's a wrong statement to be made. His anguish I can understand. He could have put it in a different manner. Okay. But the fact remains, it's a very unfair and nasty comparison for which I think Javed Akhtar should apologize, or else there will be legal and consequences for him.
All right, so Deshathan Nigam saying the comparison is not fair and the comments of Ram Kadam not fair either. So interesting comments over there. Let me go to Anand Dubey there. Dubeyji, how exactly is one to understand what Sena is saying here? You are saying that you are not critical of Javed Akhtar, you believe that he is in the right over here, but this comparison was uncalled for. Is that what we are supposed to understand from this editorial?
Good evening. मैं आपसे एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ.
जी.
आरएसएस की तालिबान से तुलना जब हो रही है तो उसका हम विरोध करते हैं, क्योंकि देखिए जावेद अख्तर साहब को हम लोग बहुत ही सुलझा हुआ व्यक्ति मान रहे थे. उन्होंने बहुत सारी कविताएं रचनाएं की हैं भारत में जिसका सभी लाभ लेते हैं, और उन्होंने वंदे मातरम को उस समय गाया जब कट्टरपंथी उसका विरोध कर रहे थे. ऐसे व्यक्ति से ऐसी उम्मीद हम सबको नहीं थी. देखिए पूरे विश्व में हर देश को अपना धर्म मानने का अधिकार है. यूरोप और अमेरिका क्रिश्चियन धर्म मानते हैं, मिडल ईस्ट के लोग इस्लाम मानते हैं, श्रीलंका चाइना के लोग बुद्धिज्म मानते हैं. वैसे ही अखंड भारत है. हम हिंदुत्व हैं, हम हिंदू को मानते हैं. हम राम और कृष्ण की धरती है, ऋषि मुनि की धरती है, गंगा यमुना की धरती है, तो हम अपने को मानते हैं. लेकिन एक ऐसे सामाजिक संगठन जिन्होंने देश के लिए बहुत कुछ किया है, यदि आप उसकी तुलना तालिबान से करेंगे तो क्या भारत में वो सब कुछ हो रहा है जो तालिबान में हो रहा है? क्या भारत से लाखों लोग पलायन करने को मजबूर हो रहे हैं? क्या भारत में महिलाएं बच्चों पर अत्याचार हो रहे हैं? आप एक तरफ तालिबान को देखिए और एक तरफ आरएसएस को देखिए. दोनों में कोई तुलना नहीं है. शिवसेना को इसका विरोध है क्योंकि देखिए हम हिंदुत्व होने के बाद भी हमारा भारत एक धर्म निरपेक्ष है, एक सेक्युलर नेशन है. यहाँ पर यदि आरएसएस और शिवसेना साथ में आते हैं तो मुस्लिम का 3 तलाक भी खत्म होता है. माताएं बहनें हमें दुआ भी देती हैं. तो आप ये देखिए कि पूरे विश्व में एकमात्र ऐसा देश है जो कहता तो है कि हम हिंदू राष्ट्र हैं, लेकिन वो साथ में दूसरे धर्मों का भी सम्मान करता है.
आपने बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बात बोली है. आप कह रहे हैं कि आप हिंदुत्व में बिलीव करते हैं, शिवसेना हिंदुत्व में बिलीव करती है, लेकिन इंडिया भारत एक सेक्युलर नेशन भी है. आपको लगता है आरएसएस इससे कंफर्म करता है?
देखिए मैं आपसे वही बता रहा हूं कि हम हमारे देश में हम होली भी मनाते हैं, दिवाली भी मनाते हैं, सारे त्योहार मनाते हैं. हिंदू मुस्लिम सिख ईसाई हम सब हैं भाई भाई. ऐसा बचपन से हमको सिखाया जाता है. देखिए आरएसएस एक विचारधारा, आरएसएस कोई राजनीतिक पार्टी नहीं है. आरएसएस एक विचारधारा है. उनका कहना है कि हम हिंदुत्व को लेकर आगे बढ़ते हैं. तो ठीक है, ये
विचारधारा तो इस समय सरकार को गाइड कर रही है ना, इसमें तो कोई दो राय नहीं है. देशतन निगम वांट्स टू कम इन वेरी क्विकली. आई विल गिव यू टाइम टू रिबट. प्लीज गो अहेड.
There is nothing to rebut. In fact, it's more clarification. See, RSS concept of Hindu Rashtra is different from Hindu state. You have to make that distinction.
Okay.
It is not a political statement. Hindu Rashtra here means the geo-cultural concept where spiritual and various values have been handed from generation to generation, from thousands of years to the present day. And that says you must respect others' religion as well. We don't call anybody kafir or pagan. Please understand. We say you have a mode of worship. We also have a mode of worship. You respect us, we respect you. That's a system of coexistence, acceptance, and tolerance. And that is what we have said. This is the Hindu Rashtra, see, nobody should impose their own definition on RSS for Hindu Rashtra. We have our definition that has to be accepted, and that is what we do. We have Rashtriya Muslim Manch, we have Rashtriya Sikh Sangat also, we have Rashtriya Sevika Samiti for women. Women work on the field, so there is no comparison.
In fact, as we speak, Mohan Bhagwat is meeting some various intellectuals from the minority community as well. It's happening right now. Sabha, Natli, quickly respond to that.
So I'll just say one thing. Can I? Number one, Javed Akhtar is a quintessential liberal. Every now and then he sunaus to the conservative Muslims, which does not mean they're Taliban. By the way, let me make that distinction on your channel. And he every now and then he gives them a lecture. He annoys them. He's a true liberal. In a quintessential, he's a complete poet, and now he is sunaut to the intolerant people. There are a lot of hate crimes. It would be a lie to say that there are no hate crimes in India. They are going on daily. We are seeing footage of hate crimes. And many of the people have allegiance to the superstructure of the RSS and BJP, and they are supporters of the regime. And let's know, RSS today is powerful, but RSS, Sardar Patel, 3 times, you should read his comments on RSS. RSS, the whole Hindu ideological right was questioned and investigated in Gandhi's murder. The Hindu Mahasabha was. And let's be clear about it.
Okay,
I think
it's
Diskilati.
I think this debate is not about looking into the role of RSS over here. We just wanted to. That's a different debate. We'll come to that. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I've completely run out of time. My director is telling me I have to take a commercial break right now. But thank you so much for joining us and putting things in perspective on where exactly the story is. And if you, again, like I said, if you want to watch that interview again, please log into ndtv.com. The entire interview is available there.